Okay, welcome back to the bench. I've been working on a project last couple of weeks about buying parts from TEMU, RC parts from TEMU to build a complete car from TEMU. And I've been back and forth about what I'm going to do. You probably watched one of my other videos, and I talked about making an overlander vehicle, and I've kind of went away from that. I like the frame, the tubular frame and everything else, but I'm going to use it for a different project. So I've kind of come back to making a buggy, off-road, low center of gravity vehicle. So I put up a video about the low carbon fiber chassis that I got. I ended up getting it for a penny because I bought so many other parts, and it was part of the deal that they gave me. If I bought so much stuff, I could buy 3 things for a penny. So I bought this low center of gravity chassis that's based off of an SCX-10-2 chassis. And I put it together, and there's a video before this video about that. I also got these tires for a penny. Okay, so this, I got 2 cents wrapped up into this so far. Okay, and I got a coupon from TEMU the other day to spend up, I get 1 thing free. And they offered me 4 tires, 4 inserts, foams with the dual foams for nothing. Yes, nothing. Made by Hobby Park. I think it's Hobby Park. Hobby Park. Okay, 1.9s, 4.75 inches, I do believe. Yeah, 4.75 inches. They're the same as these wheels or tires right here that I got for a penny. So I've got 8 tires, wheels, foams for a penny. So if you work yourself around and do some things on TEMU and spend enough money on TEMU, you can start getting stuff for free. Okay? So that said, I took the carbon fiber body that I got for a penny, the wheels that I got for a penny. I got the low center of gravity transmission, and I think I did a video on one of these before. If not, I'll talk more about this at a later date. Okay, and I got the links from, and I'm going to put the prices of all this stuff, real prices and what I paid for, in the description, and maybe even here in the video. But I got the links. I got a set of links for 4-link suspension for the front and back. Now I bought the low center of gravity transmission. I think cost I want to say $16, something like that. The axles were $35 a piece. They're SCX-10-2 copies axles, but they're metal. They're all metal. I opened them up when I did the description of these in the video when I got all these parts. So you can look in there and see what they look like inside. Okay, so I got 70, 80, 85, and the links are $12. So I got like $97 wrapped up in this with tires and wheels. So I'm building this thing for a roller for less than $100 off of TEMU. And excuse me, all the parts up to this point have been very, very nice. Now the wheels and tires are made by Hobby Park. They come with foams. The ones that I just got came with dual foams, but they come with standard foams. And they're squishy. They're fairly sticky. They got no name on them. None whatsoever. There's no markings. So it's not like you're going to have some vehicle with fancy marking tires. But these tires are probably made by the same company who stamp Super Swampers or whatever the heck these might represent on the side of the tire. And they come from overseas. But they are actually in warehouses here in the United States now. You can get these in 2 or 3 days. Okay, like Amazon. And cheaper than Amazon. And if you look at the video I just did about all the parts that I got, it's way cheaper than Amazon. And you can get them in a couple days. Now some stuff, no. Chassis I bought for a penny, or $58, I guess it was. $58 came. It took 2.5 weeks, but I don't know. That's part of the deal. But anyway, these wheels and tires, they're basically, if you've ever used Endure, they're the same thing. Okay, I've used Endure wheels and tires a lot. Come with the hubs. You can change the hubs so that you can put extenders on here if you need to. Come with all the hardware you need. Black rim. This is green and black rim. They got several different colors. They even got rainbow type colors. They got everything. Okay, and very simple to put together. Feel like I lost part of it. Okay. Yeah, okay. A little confusing myself here. Alright, so it comes in 3 parts. I mean 4 or 5 parts. So there's the ring, the hub, the inner part of the rim and the outer part of the rim, and then the insert. Okay, so you put the insert in. Pretty simple, straightforward. And make sure that the beads are over the top of the insert. The insert is inside. Pop either one, we'll put the top one on first because it's easier. Pop this into place. Quite simple. See the beads underneath there. And then make sure that this is all lined up. Make sure your holes are lined up. And pop this into place. Now some wheels from overseas you can only put them in one way. These seem to be either way. It doesn't matter which way you have it. Okay, get that in there. It pops right in, and very simple. You don't need an extra long screw or anything to hold them down so you can get them started. Just pop the screw in there and push down, and it gets close enough that you can get the nut started, bolt I should say, started, and without any real effort. Okay, I don't recommend you using one of these unless you got a torque setting on them, so you don't strip these screws. But mine, this one has a torque setting on it, and you can't buy that anymore. I've had this for 15 years probably. And there's no torque setting. So, yeah, it's very simple to put together. I have put enough of these together to know that I've never had one that didn't go together well, and the beads have always stayed seated, and now you just, once you get them all started, you go back and forth across the wheel, and your bead will never pop out. And like I said, I have a torque setting on this, So when it reaches the torque I want, it ratchets. And I can't, so I won't strip them. And it makes quick work. As you can see, I've just done a wheel in less than 5 minutes. Talking to you guys at the same time. So, very simple to put together. Like I said, I've never had one come loose. I've never had one spin on the rim. So, yeah, that's it. And then you put the 1.5 million screws in the outer part of it, which is basically there just for looks. I mean, these are functional. Here and here, they hold the hub in place. And the axles that I got, the hubs, part of it where you put the hub over the piece here is actually got set screws in them, so they can't come falling off every time you open up the, take a tire off, a wheel off. And yeah, so let me finish these up, and I'll come back and we'll talk more about the actual vehicle that we're building. Okay, so got all the tires and wheels put together, and I got them on the low center of gravity carbon fiber chassis. And now, up to this point, I have not bought any shocks or drive shafts. And there's a reason for that. I don't buy them until I'm at this stage of the setup, because I don't know what size shocks I want or how length of the drive shafts need to be. So at this point that we got a roller, we can figure that out. Now, how low do you want the center of gravity? That's something you have to decide. How low do you want this to sit off the ground? Right now, the way it sits, with basically the links being parallel to the ground, we have 2 inches of clearance, ground clearance. Okay, and if you go that 1/10 world, that's 20 inches. Okay, so you're good for 20-inch size rocks. Our tires are 4.75, 47.5 inches. So that's where we get the 20-inch, basically 25 inches. So 25 inches would be actually parallel, 2.5 inches to the center of the wheels. Now, center of gravity. Maybe that's where you want your center of gravity. I mean, that sounds good to me. But maybe you want more ground clearance. Okay? You're not going to get any more ground clearance in the front. You're only going to get as much ground clearance as you have with the tires and wheels, the tires, and the bottom of your pumpkin on your axles. Okay, so you can't get any higher than that. No matter what you do here, okay, you're not changing anything on the clearance. So if you want your clearance to be the least amount of clearance to be your axles, which is what you really want, then you want the center of the vehicle to at least be at the same height as the lowest part of your axles. So I'm going to set this up so that the LCG, the lowest part of this frame, LCG frame, is at the same point as the lowest point of my front axle. Okay, so if we measure the lowest point of the front axle when it's parallel to the ground, we have 2 inches. So the center of this pumpkin is at the center of a wheel. Okay, so we have 2 inches. That's like a 20-inch clearance in the 1/10 scale. So we'll make this 2 inches. So we come up to the 2-inch mark and put something underneath it at 2 inches to hold it there at the 2-inch mark. Okay, that's a little high. That's 3 inches. So this is pretty close. We'll throw a couple other things under here. Get this up to 3 inches. Look at this. Maybe I got it now. Yeah, I got it now. Okay. So this is 2 inches. So we're 2 inches above. Our links are not perfectly parallel. The back links, I can adjust these links with this frame. Where they're hooked to the frame right now, I got them hooked at the highest point. I could lower them and bring the center of gravity up a little bit. If you keep the center of gravity low, it won't roll over. Okay, so that is where we want it. So we need to determine what the size of our shocks are going to be. When they're sitting low, when the weight's sitting on them and there's no... Okay, so this is 80 millimeters. So if I get 80 millimeter shocks, I can adjust them from 80. I can adjust them up to a point where we can get upwards of 3 inches of lift on the bottom down to 2. So 80 would work perfectly for the rear shocks. Even 90 would work. 90 I couldn't get as low as I wanted. 80 I can get it as low because there's so much adjustability here. So 80 millimeter shocks for the back. Now the front. $80 millimeters would bring it. Yeah, 80's not going to work in the front. We're going to need to get this right. Well, 80 would actually work, but I think I'm going to get 90s. Okay, so 90s in the front. Let's see, maybe 90s in the back. Because if I buy 80s and 90s, I got to buy 2 sets of shocks. So 90, God no, all right, 80. 80 in the back. And get this parallel. And 90s in the front. I'm going to buy 2 sets of shocks. I'll use them. They're only on TEMU depending on which ones I get. So 80 in the back, 90 in the front. I got to write this down. Okay, and now drive shafts. Just do the same thing. Pretty much get where you want your ground clearance, where you want your frame to sit. Then you measure. This would be 115 millimeters. at the longest. So you want to get something that will go down below and no further. If they stretch to 115, they might fall apart. So you get shocks if they go from, let's see, Driveshafts, and just I've bought and enjoyed Driveshafts before. They're $12 for one. So they have it goes from 104 at the smallest to 139 at the biggest. I don't need that. 94 at the smallest, 119. Okay, that would be probably perfect. That means it'll get down to 94 and stretch out to 119. We just said 115 was our distance. So 119, if we get a little more stretch out than we got now, will be good. So I need 194 to 119. Okay. So we'll put that in our notes. 104 to 119 millimeter shock. 115 is nominal. That's where the shock, that's the longest it could be, or the shortest it could be. Okay, now the front is 135. So I need one at 135. Okay, so if we get it at 135 is a long drive shaft. Okay, so they have them go from 119 to 159. So that never going to get to 159. 119 is way short enough for, so yeah, 119 to 159. They got 104 to 139. That would probably work also. What did I say? 135? Yeah. But if it ever stretches to 135, it only have 4 millimeters left. So I go with the 119 till 155, 159. 119. So that's where the other one ended. 119 to 155. And nominal is 135. Okay. So now we know what we need for shocks and drive shafts. And that is all I need for this, other than electronics and the servo. So what kind of motor? I'm thinking about putting in, we're going to have to, a small outboard. If you don't know what an outboard is, the outer of it spins. Okay, it's not in a can. The out part spins and they're shorter. Okay, and they make them brushless. And it will be brushless. Okay. Yeah. And then I like to use Fusion. They don't sell Fusion on TEMU, so I'm going to get everything off of TEMU. So we'll find something on TEMU and I'll let you know what I get. But yeah, this is coming out really good so far. All the parts have been fairly decent parts. I haven't gotten anything I don't like at this point, but I ain't drove it yet either. Once we drive it, we'll know if things start to break. But yeah, it's if you guys want a little side view of what we're looking at for our stance, something like that. And then the body, yeah, we'll have to come up with a body. Yeah, if you guys got any suggestions, let me know. The body part of it for me is the hardest part. Picking out what I want it to look like. I know what I want it to do. And I want it to function. How I want it to look. If I don't build it off of something already built, then if you look at my other videos, I've built a lot of stuff that looks like things that I actually owned. So this is not a bad deal so far. Like I said, I got less than $100 in this, and I'll probably, by all said and done, minus the electronics. I'm not going to count the electronics right now, because if I sold this, I would probably sell it without the electronics, let people put their own in. This would just be a roller. Building it for less than $100 or $120 for a roller, it's not bad, because a frame, something like this already built, already done, will cost you about $180, $200 on TEMU. If you bought a good one, like I have built SCX 10.3 builders kits, I've built Vanquish builders kits. They run $280, $300. And this, in my opinion, is not as good, but it's not that bad either. If you want to get into the hobby and you don't want to spend $300, $400 on a roller, you can get one. And if I put the real prices on here, I think this carbon fiber frame costs like $30, maybe $25. And the tires and wheels, they probably cost $30, $40. So let's say 25, 30, that's 55. Axles 70, 125, 16, 131, 12. Yeah, we're probably talking about $180, but it's yours. You made it the way you wanted it. You didn't get parts that come with it and hope they work. I mean, I got this chassis, and I talk about this in the other video, but I got this chassis right here with a transfer case and a 2-speed transmission and wheel wells and shocks and everything. I mean, this is a roller. It even came with wheels. They are plastic, but it came with wheels. So all you got to put on this is a motor and wheels and tires and a servo. It even comes with a shifting servo already installed. So you just have to put a motor in it and a servo, steering servo, and that is an on-frame deal. So yeah. And I got that for a penny. This is the third thing I got for a penny. I got this chassis, these tires and wheels, and this for 3 cents. Total value of all of this stuff is about $350. Okay, I got it for 3 cents. And it's very smooth. I'm gonna have to take it apart. There's no grease in the transfer case, the transmission, or the axles. So I'm going to have to take it all apart and grease it. And when I do that, I'll let you know. And it has the length of all the shafts on it and everything else. It's not a bad vehicle. I mean, it's not a bad chassis. I think it's $150 on TEMU normally. I don't know about the shocks, but they don't feel bad. This one's kind of sticky if it's been sitting, but you can take those apart and make sure there's nothing inside of them too. So yeah, not bad. So, used to be TEMU had a lot of junk. Now it's getting to be more like Amazon and a little cheaper. I think if you look at the video I did on all the parts I bought I spent $444. If I bought them on Amazon, it would have cost me $888. So I got them for half the price. So this is the vehicle we're working on. I have no idea what I'm going to call it. My wife usually comes up with names. She came up with Pumpkin for my other buggy, a moon buggy that I built, that I'm working on. I got it onto a roller right now too. I got to come up with the electronics and motor for it. And that's, you can see those, I got those videos too in my, if you go to my page or YouTube channel, I got videos of all the vehicles I built. Okay, even my Orange Crush Jeep, my trail rig that I really like a lot. It's heavy though. It's one of the heaviest vehicles I've ever built. I mean, it's heavy. And I broke the door on it. It's not made for banging and busting around, that's for sure. It's one heavy trail rig. And if you want to see that, I got a couple of videos up of that too. Alright, so that's going to end this video for today. I'm out of parts. But now that I know what I need for shocks and drive shafts, I'll order them and I'll do another video when I put them on and get the roller complete. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.